Hey guys, you're listening to the Freelance Blend podcast, episode number 116. This is your host, Marv De Leon, and this is a special video slash audio podcast where I'll talk about blogging, in particular, yung relationship ng blogging to biking. So, you might ask, bakit biking? So the main reason is I recently bought a bicycle. I haven't been biking for a long time since I was a teenager. And siguro since I retired from the corporate life last year, I've been doing exercises and walking, in particular, walking around the village and sometimes running and also exercising using my TRX. So if you're familiar with TRX, so para siyang suspension training. So I've been doing that and medyo nabore na ako sa routine ko of walking and doing those exercises. And my friend has been convincing me to buy a bike. And recently, I decided to finally buy a bike na I've been thinking about for many months prior to that, and I've been researching for many months. And while I was biking the other day, I thought of the relationship between buying a bike, investing in a bike, and blogging, investing in a blog. And I wrote about it. I was jotting down in my journal na why I haven't biked for a long time. So maraming reasons yan. Number one, laziness. Napaka-convenient maglakad. And it's also yun nga, running and walking is basically free. You don't need to buy something. Maybe shoes na, or you can even walk in your slippers. But so that's number one, laziness, and also the money barrier of ang daming types of bike. Siya, merong expensive, merong cheap. So it can go as 5,000 to 100, 200,000 bike. So yun yung nag-stop sa akin. So wala pa akong bike, of course. That's another thing. And apart from me not having a bike, pag nakakita kong other bikers, so I'm sure you see them in BGC or in the highway, may mga grupo na mga talagang serious bikers. I really get intimidated na if I buy a bike na pangit or very cheap, pagtatawanan nila ako, I won't be able to join their group or those groups. And another thing is, I live in a small space. I live in a townhouse. Talagang we're a family of 4 plus a helper. So space is a big consideration. So I didn't know where to place another bike kasi my son also has a bike. And of course, sa garage, medyo masikip na rin with the car. But something really pushed me to consider buying a bike. And somehow, yun nga, naisip ko na I got bored, na I wanted to do something else. And finally, after months of research, bumili na ako ng bike ko. And it's well, for me, it's somehow expensive. Relative naman yon, yung pagiging expensive niya relative to the person. So me, not really in the cycling space, in the cycling world, para sa akin it's expensive. And so I bought one finally, and then I had no regrets. So it's really changed my lifestyle, my health. So I've been biking siguro mga 2 months na. So it's already part of my routine, of my daily routine. At least, my weekly routine. At least once a week, I bike. So min-mix ko yon with my walking. And I can see talagang the difference. Before, I can only walk for siguro, well, in 30 minutes, I can walk siguro a few kilometers lang. With a bike, of course, mas malayo nang inaabot ko. And I love yung feel of the wind going through my body. So, um, when I was walking, or when I walk, I have to wake up earlier in the morning para hindi masyadong mainit. Kasi if it's about 7 o'clock na, medyo maaraw na, it's really uncomfortable naman to do my walk. So, dapat maaga ka magising. Now, with a bike, since you experience the breeze of the wind going through you, hindi ka ganong uncomfortable. So, I can now wake up a bit later. So, ayun, alam ko na if I wake up a bit later, I should probably bike. And that gets me biking pa rin. So, versus before, if I wake up late, hindi na ako mag-walk. And I maybe would just watch TV, and it's not good for my health. So, ideally, I want to exercise at least every day. So, yun yung benefits that biking has brought me. And now, so anong relationship nun sa vlogging? So, I believe that when when I was also starting a blog, uh, ano pa yon, I was still working, so it was difficult because number one, which is a lot of the major reasons why people aren't able to start a blog is because of time. So I didn't have the time. I was busy with work. Also, I didn't have experience blogging. So I've my freelance blend, which is my first and only blog at this point. And same as biking, I was intimidated by the big bloggers, by the influential bloggers. So parang naisip ko na kaya ko ba gawin yung ginagawa nila? Will people read my blog? So what happens if nobody reads my blog? I'm just writing to myself, or maybe to my wife only, so yung mga nagbabasa ng blog ko, or to my family members. So uh, those are the same things that stopped me from blogging. But I thought about ano ba yung why ko? Why did I want to blog? So I wanted to have eventually an online business where I can reach people and also help people through my my niche, which is freelancing and also online business. So that was my higher purpose, which is to help people, at the same time probably earn money from it and eventually replace my corporate income. And that's why inisip ko, ano ba yung higher purpose? Why, in the same way as when I was biking, why should I buy a bike? Kung hindi ko na magagamitin yon, masasayang lang siya. So my higher purpose was to be healthier and to battle my boredom, my everyday boredom, because I work from home nga. So in the same way as a blogging, so yun yung inisip ko. Why should I push myself to blog? And in the same way as in biking, I invested in an expensive bike. I invested in myself. I bought books about blogging. I bought a course about blogging, an expensive course. In fact, ito yung Blog Academy Philippines by John Orania and Fitz Villafuerte. So I invested on those, and I also invested in web design. So I didn't want to have a typical free blog na freelanceblend.blogspot.com or freelanceblend.wordpress.com. wordpress.com. So sa start pa lang, I wanted to have a really professional looking blog. That's why I invested really on web design. So I designed the look of the blog, and then I gave it to a web designer, web developer to interpret the blog into WordPress. And I really wanted na freelanceblend.com from the very start. So I really invested on those. And that's what I really do uh, to be able to push myself. Kasi sa totoo, kuripot akong tao, and I really make sure na yung investment ko in something will go somewhere. And I knew that if I invested heavily in a blog, mas mapupush ako gamitin siya. So, ganun ako kuripot. Ayoko na talagang pipigain ko yung investment ko. So, at least magamit ko yung blog for many years versus sa magbuo lang ako ng blog na libre. Most likely, hindi ako mapupush na gamitin siya. Hindi ako mapupush na magsulat kasi wala naman akong ininvest na money on it. And for me, even for podcasting, I invested in an expensive mic that you are looking at right now to convince me, to push me into podcasting naman. So, the main my main message here in this video blog, in this podcast, is if you're decided on doing something but somehow you get stuck and you procrastinate. So yun yung malaking kalaban natin, procrastination. I would suggest for you to invest in something that will push you to do it. So let's say nga blogging, invest in web design, invest in maybe a logo designer rin, invest in a host, invest in domain name, invest in courses or books that will help push you to blog. And the result for me after doing that investment 3 years ago is that I was able to build my business. In fact, nabawi ko na yung mga ginastos ko upfront with my blog. So, sabi ko nga, yung courses, yung books, yung itong web hosting, and everything that I used for my blog, invested for my blog, nabawi ko na by monetizing it through workshops, through speaking engagements, through proceeds or royalties from a book, through coaching, through sponsorship. So, bumalik lahat. So, it's like, ganun talaga. You have to consider it as blogging as a business na you have to invest upfront and eventually you will be able to grow it and then earn back and even triple or 10x your earnings from that blog. So you have to look at it yung long game, yung long term na benefits if you're really serious to have a blog. So that's my message for this podcast. Invest in yourself, invest in a blog that will help you grow your personal brand, your business. And again, I'm the living example of that, and I hope that I was able to inspire you and I was able to share yung aking knowledge and secrets on how I am able to push myself into doing something na at the onset is getting me stuck or pumapasok yung procrastination. So that's it for this episode. Again, this is a very short episode. I hope you learned something from me today. And also, I'd like to invite you to watch my free video about the essentials of a blog. So let's say you already followed my advice today. You invested in a blog. You started buying a web design, hiring a web designer, buying your host, pero confused kayo on how each of the elements, essential parts of a blog, mix and match. So I talk about it in my free video at freelanceblend.com/free video. It's about the essentials of an epic blog. It's actually part of a live workshop that I conducted in August. So that's a WordPress blogging basics workshop. So we recorded a part of it, and I want to share it with you for free. So I hope you watch that video. It's about 17 minutes for you to be able to learn yung essential parts of a blog, yung I made it easier kasi ang dami nagtatanong sa akin, why do I need a domain name? Why do I need to invest in a web host? Why do I need to invest in WordPress? So I talked about in that video yung house analogy. So ano ba yung the easiest way to explain yung essential parts of a blog, but no, it's easier to explain it through comparing it to the different parts of a house. So yun yung house analogy. So I hope you watch that. Again, freelanceblend.com/free video. And also, very soon, watch out for an online course about blogging that I will announce very soon. So this is an online workshop. It's not our usual na live workshop. So especially sa mga listeners natin, viewers natin who are not in Metro Manila, who are in maybe Cebu, Davao, or maybe in the US, if you're listening to this, you can now join our workshops online. So it's also about blogging, so watch out for it. I'll be announcing it in a few days. And for now, I hope you please watch this video that I told you about, to give you a glimpse on how we conduct our workshops, and also for you to learn about the essential elements of a blog, especially if you're starting. So please, again, freelanceblend.com/free video. Thank you very much again, and that's it for this episode, and peace to everyone. Bye!